Hi everybody, I'm glad to be back with you again this week. I hope everybody's enjoying these. Quick review of what the purpose is. I'm applying what I feel how kata was really designed to be practiced. Oftentimes we see kata after fact. We see the kata already designed and we're sitting there trying to figure out how it works, and we feel this doesn't seem to be practical. I don't see how I'm defending against something that's attacking me 3 feet from me or behind me. And I feel that originally kata was second. The self-defense was first. You learn a real combat, realistic self-defense situation, and then a kata was designed from that, not to teach you it, but to remind you what you learned. And well, that's what I'm trying to do today. Use some realistic combat self-defense situations and combinations with different philosophies and strategies involved with what could be going on. And then from them, I design a kata, which makes the kata more fun. I hope you're enjoying not just learning the kata and practicing the drills, but maybe guessing what could be the next thing in the kata. What's the next self-defense that's not really obvious that could be in there. So far, we've covered how to defend ourselves from a person on the mount on top of us, how we get them off, how we go from that position into a new position where we're in their guard, how to escape that guard and attack, and then they come back and attack us continually. This person is not giving up. He's not surrendering. We're not having the opportunity to get away. He's throwing a big wild swing at us. How we crash that, strike him, stun him, capture him, and we learn the self-defense of last week was an arm drag. How we pull from being in the front to maneuvering the arm across our body to being arm in front of us and us to the side, and doing a side control of that arm and shoulder, and then manipulating that arm. You'll see a lot of self-protection instructors use that move extensively. They don't go into a lot of disarmaments. They just go into like side control of the arm, capture that arm and maneuver that joint and control that person until eventually they break down and they do the finishing strikes on them. Then we went from that side arm drag across to pulling it back across and doing a cross elbow strike. Today's self-defense is working on doing a shoulder lock, controlling their shoulder in tight. Instead of just the arm, we're going in deep, pressing against the body, controlling the shoulder, and doing a couple of elbow strikes and knee strikes. I'll try to give some examples how this could be used and other self-defense moves, not just how we're applying it today in this kata. All right, as I said, we're going to be working on the shoulder lock. I want to work it from a straight on attack by itself like we did last time. We worked with a casual, I don't know what you're up to position. I'm just being cautious. My hands are ready to defend myself, whatever side I feel I need that may need to protect me first, so the other one can strike. If I want this one to strike first, I'm here. You have the please don't hurt me position when you know you're being confronted and you're hollowing back, protecting yourself, having your hands ready. We're going to start again this one from a relaxed position. The person is going to suddenly framing you with their arm, where they'll reach in and grab. For the purpose of this kata, I want you to imagine right now that they're reaching and grabbing with their right hand, framing you with their right, because we'll be attaching this to the right side of their arm, their right arm as we do the drill later on. A lot of times in a self-defense situation, the attack will maybe with the left, where they grab and frame you with the left hand so they can punch you with the right. In this case, it might be just a person pushing on you, grabbing you, just shaking you around. So it's not a great offensive move right now. It's an intimidation position. So we're not necessarily going to, right the moment he touches us, take our fist and put it down his throat and knock teeth out everywhere. We just want to control him. And this is a control lock position and base him in a position of taking his offense away. So he reaches in, grabs to this side. You'll trap the hand, you'll come across the arm and strike down on top of the elbow. So his arm will go from this position to this position, elbow pointing down. Buckling his back posture, making him lean and bending at the elbow and the shoulder. From here, this arm goes to the inside of the arm, around, underneath the armpit, and to the back of the shoulder. Your hands will grab. You'll need to have the left hand, the one on top of the shoulder, palm down. The right hand goes underneath it, palm up. You do a grip, full grip hand, either with the thumb on the outside or the thumb on inside the first finger. You want to use the edge of your wrist as your focal point to put pressure at, and dig that top wrist, palm down, on top of the back of his shoulder. So he'll be in this position, buckles to this position, and then you'll turn him to this position with the hand on top of the shoulder. So your hand goes down, under, over, shoots in, you move in. Sometimes you can pull them to you, but we want to move and close the gap in the distance. So as we go 1, 2, move in tight and pull this shoulder into your chest. Glue it to your body. So now the arm is underneath. Your arm is over the top of the shoulder. The wrist is dug into the rear delt. The shoulder is tucked into your chest, and now he becomes part of you. Instead of using my arms now to maneuver him, I use my body, which is much stronger. I'm going to twist him and turn him and lead him. I like to go in a circle, pulling him forward and across. Instead of just locking into this position next to him, where it could slip and slide, it pulls him forward. The purpose of pulling forward is to get his upper body ahead of his feet so he's staying off balance. I don't want him getting in a position of strength and going strength against strength for me. I want him off balance. The second thing I need is this locked shoulder to be the corner leading the rest of the body. I need that shoulder to be going forward. I don't want this shoulder to have the opportunity to catch up to where I can punch up or turn over and pull me down to the ground, and he's facing toward me, pulling me into his guard, into a guard position on the ground, and I'm laying on top of him. At that time, I need to get quickly into a side guard position on him and controlling him. I want to avoid that. I want to keep his face down. To do that, I need to keep pulling him, keeping him off balance to here. Now from this position, I can knee strike, I can elbow strike, I can pull him to the floor, face down. I can then do a side position where I plant my knees on his neck and then pull this across and get a side Kimura from the top, facing down on top of him, with him facing chest to the floor. I can pull out the arm and brace my knee, my shins on the back of his elbow and pin him to the floor, or I can just move away. So again, situation, I'm here, he grabs me, just to intimidate and control me, not necessarily as a threat. I just want to control his shoulder and his body. I'm going to trap, buckle the arm down, make the hand that's here go to here. And what this does is not only pull him to me, but pull him off balance. Pulls his face forward. Sometimes we don't even, if it is an offensive situation, I do want to strike. Once I buckle this, I can strike straight back up into his face as his face is going forward. But right now I want to just trap him. So from the buckle, I go from the inside to the outside to the top of the shoulder. Inside to the top of the shoulder. Palm down, palm up, grip, move in, pull to the chest, and spin. Pull him off balance from here, knee strike, elbow strikes, either going up or down. And I can just knee different places. If I knee to his face and he covers it, I'll knee to his body. Once he covers there, I pull again, and I can elbow either down or across his face. That's one situation of how we can use this particular move. The second one is a follow-up to an arm bar. You see this a lot of times. I see people grabbing an arm and extending the person and bracing them down. The hand, they have their arm out. They have a grip on the wrist. They have their grip to where their hand is palm up. So this elbow is pointing up. They have them extended here. And you put the blade edge of your forearm just above the elbow, like about an inch. There's a nice tender nerve area here. And you apply pressure going down and locking them into this position here. The self-defense, or the counter to that position, is the moment they start putting pressure here, is to flip your elbow down. Flip the elbow down before they start extending down on your arm. So if the person is smart, as you start pulling that arm around, and their arm is coming up, and he feels your elbow pressing down on yours, he'll snap his elbow down. And now he's faced forward towards you, ready to strike with his hand. At which time, this is where this move would work real well. As you twist and apply pressure down, his elbow flips, you go again. Through the inside to the shoulder and pull. Pull him around so this arm can't come around and get you. He buckles, arm under, over, move in, twist out, pull down. That's your second option. Again, it might be a situation where you're putting pressure on the elbow, he buckles, your arm drops. The moment you feel your forearm drop from his elbow dropping and him starting to turn, you shoot underneath, move in, pull, twist to the side, lock that shoulder up. Okay, apply now the shoulder lock to the kata, the combination, the self-defense. I'm going to take it from this uppercut punch where you have the shoulder lock, the arm side control. They're facing the same direction I am. I have a hold of their wrist, I have a hold of their shoulder. You buckle them across this way and you come in with an elbow. Now every once in a while, you get this position and you're holding, you're securing, and they're here like this, and you're pulling, unless they do get a chance to get a step over and throw this arm at you. Now you always have that partner that is just flexible in his shoulders, or has these long arms and can transfer a weapon from one hand to the other. And while you got this, when they reach over and they grab over here, if this happened to be a knife defense, or they just reach around and start punching at you. They start reaching for this side, or they start reaching for your face as you're in this position. That's fine. Hold tight to this above the arm, above their elbow across the bicep into the shoulder. As their arm comes around this way to your face, let go of the wrist, do an outside cover. Let the strike hit your arm, capture that one behind the arm above that elbow. Pull that in and grab now both arms. You have this one already. When this comes around, you jam it, trap it, secure it down, and now you trap both arms in front of your chest. Pull it down where this hand is now here on the bicep, reaches across and grabs the tricep of this second arm above the elbow, secure tight to your chest. Now, with a good grip in tight, you can headbutt. You can actually let go for a moment with this hand while this is holding this one. He can't get out with two arms, and you can strike, palm into the face, finger strike the eyes, elbow across, do your damage to here, pull across, and take him down to the floor this way. That's if he comes around with that arm. We're going to assume he doesn't get that far. I'm just bringing some extra drills that you can do with the combination with your partners, the what ifs that can happen. They can go on and on. That's why you kind of have to keep practicing this with multiple different people, multiple different sizes and situations, so you have all your different opportunities for him and yourself in part of your training. So we're in this position. Again, we just did this elbow strike. We're in tight. I want this hand to kind of secure the shoulder, and you're going to make that S move going in and underneath the armpit to the top of the shoulder. But remember, it's palm down, Other hand goes in, palm up. So this blade edge of the left hand is the area that you're going to be applying pressure on their shoulder with. I need this bone to dig into their shoulder. We move in, pull it to your chest, step around. From here, I can pull him in tight and knee strike to the face. I can knee strike as often as I need. If he starts pulling away, as I strike, he starts breaking loose. Now this hand that was on the shoulder, facing palm down, I let go, I grab the shoulder with his hand, and I move forward into him. As I hold and control, I move and follow him and pull him in an elbow. If he pulls his hand up to protect his face for that elbow, I would just come right back up and hammer down with a bottom fist or downward elbow strike. So from the knee, I can strike as many times as I need to or as I can get away with. He starts to move away, I hold, I chase, and I come in elbow, hammer fist to the back of the neck. And that's the end of our combination right there. Okay, so now what I'm going to try to do is combine last week's combinations into this combination because it's a continuous attack against the same opponent. So we just finished breaking away. We're here with our guard up and they're getting off the ground, getting charging at us with the wild swing to our head. As the hand's coming in, I'm going to attack the attack. I'm going to cover and with my forearm strike into the face. I grab, uppercut, pull, elbow. This is with the new part, the shoulder lock. My hand shoots in. It goes to the top of the shoulder. I tuck and I spin. They spin to here, knee strike, and then elbow strike. Do it one more time. Put it all together. On here, the attack comes in. One. All right, now learning it as a kata. We're going to take it from the last position. You're in a four stance, palms down, fingers out, eyes forward. You look, you do your double blocks or your strike in your protection. Grab, pull, uppercut. Step across, right back where we were, facing the same direction with an elbow. Now this is where the shoulder lock comes in and we'll spin all the way to here. Instead of locking our fingers together like in the self-defense, our hands take a over-under position like we often see in kata. Standing position, drop back, knee strike, forward stance, hand extends, elbow strike, forward stance. Back to ready stance. So it would look like this. Good. I hope you enjoy learning these self-defense combinations and this practice kata. Next week, we go into the last few moves of the kata and finish up the whole thing. I hope you're staying safe and getting ready to when we can come back together and train as a school and then soon as a whole organization again. Have a good week.